Yeah,
Hi
retakes are
everyone.
allowed, guys.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. It's not live.
Hey guys, this is our first podcast or an attempt at it. So our podcast is called the Three Monk Night. I am Suyash. I'm based out of Singapore. I have Suraj and Shashank with me, who are based out of Bangalore and Mumbai, respectively. Uh, Suraj is basically the landlord of landlords, as he has a lot of properties across the metropolitans in India. So if you need a place to stay in any place, you can contact him. And we have the physicist, so to say, in the group called Shashank, who is the Sheldon of the group. And his claim to glory is that he understood Interstellar all by himself, and none of us did. So, yeah, let's continue further. Why are we called Old Monk Knights? Suraj, over to you.
So basically, we were three frustrated engineers working for an IT firm that rhymes with Bata. I don't want to name the company for obvious reasons. So we used to have this ritual, the three frustrated engineers, three friends, meeting and venting out our frustrations, just talking about shit, having old monk for our company, and we used to have conversations and a lot of shit that used to happen. Yeah.
Okay, so basically, the point is that at one point of time in around 2015, we all were single at that point of time. Now, me and Suraj are pretty much, well settled in with married spouses and all of that, which is great. We are still looking for someone for Shashank. So if you guys know someone, you can let us know and we can hook you up. But yeah, so as Suraj said, we used to love having Old Monk, and we haven't had Old Monk together in a really long time since we all left the Bata consultancy services. It's been a long time, but we decided that we will go ahead and have some Old Monk together and talk about random stuff. Maybe it will be fun for you to listen, maybe it won't, but do give us a try, I would say. Uh, Having said that, this video has not been sponsored by either Old Monk or Thumbs Up or any brand of ice. Okay, so so we are looking if somebody can sponsor us, well and good. Even if it's Old Monk mineral water, we are fine with it. But anyway, so guys, what should we discuss today, Shashank?
Yeah, dude, before that, like, did you get your teacher's accent like right now, or like did you prepare for this? Is this like
Actually,
your
I
audition for being a teacher in a government school or like in India, basically?
I have been preparing for it for a long time.
Also,
I think this is my destiny calling me.
nice with a specs and
Yeah,
like
cheers to that.
in it, dude.
So
Like,
I think we should begin with the salutations, right? Good morning, teacher.
yeah. I- Considering you're the oldest, you could definitely be a teacher for three of us.
Okay.
True.
All right. Thank you for reminding me that I am the oldest in the group right now, but it's okay. I do not want to get into the age because age is just a number at the end of the day, right? So, so Shashank, let's come back to the point. What are we discussing today?
We are discussing Marvel because clearly people haven't discussed Marvel enough. So
Yep.
we thought, hey, why not? Also because we don't know shit, and this is the only thing that we have to discuss.
So we are
So
not
that's why we're
intelligent
starting
enough to
off with
discuss. Yeah, we are not intelligent enough to discuss current affairs or politics or anything that matters. So I think the best we could come up with is Marvel.
yeah. Who knows? Hope if you guys tune in, maybe this will turn into a philosophy podcast like 2-3 months down the line. Old
You
Monk
never
philosophy.
know. Anything can happen, you know.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Right.
Okay.
we are discussing Marvel today, and we will not be discussing the whole of Marvel because there are a lot of podcasts out there who have discussed it already, and we do not want to waste our breath on it. we will be just discussing the MCU series on Disney Plus Hotstar. Okay, so it's basically we will be discussing WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and Loki. And in that too, we have specific questions which we want to go through to just keep the discussion in line, so to say. Otherwise, if we three start talking, we can talk about a lot of stuff that no one will understand about. So let's just keep it focused as of now and start from there. So we will go with the Suraj, followed by Shashank, and then me talking about whatever questions we have listed down from the net and from ourselves, and then discuss a bit about it and see how it goes. All right. The first question which we have on our list is the favorite MCU show on Disney Plus Hotstar. That means your favorite show between WandaVision, your Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and Loki. So Suraj, over to you. Which is your favorite show?
Okay, so I'm kind of in two minds right now. So when WandaVision came out, I was blown away by the format of the show and how they brought in a different viewpoint of WandaVision and how they showed all the eras. But since Loki is fresh in my mind, and Loki did reveal the big bad of MCU in the Phase 4, so I would have to go with Loki. Just amazing, just brilliant show.
Okay, that's a good enough answer, I would say. Shashank,
Yeah.
your turn.
I think for me it was Falcon and the Winter Soldier, hands down. Because I wasn't expecting shit. Like, I didn't like the characters as it is. Falcon was just like, why is he even there? And Winter Soldier was pretty much like, you fucked up Civil War for us. Or you did Civil War for us. I didn't really have any expectations out of it. But when I actually did watch it, I was super impressed with how they developed the two characters without going overboard on anything. Also, I have a soft spot for things that do not involve supernatural. And I think Falcon and the Winter Soldier kept that to the minimal, like keeping it as real as it could. So yeah, I think for me it was Falcon and the Winter Soldier that did it. That's my favorite.
Okay. I mean, fair enough. For me, I think I liked all the three shows very much. I'm actually a very big Marvel fan. So for me, anything coming out of Marvel Studios is a big deal. But if you ask me at a gunpoint to pick one out of the three, I would have to say Loki. Uh, just because of Tom Hiddleston, his British accent, and Owen Wilson, and all of them coming together.
Yeah.
And the way the story was told regarding the whole the TVA actually, and also the fact that we know there is going to be a season 2 to this show, right? For the other two shows, we don't know if there's going to be a season 2 or not. And plus, the whole premise of Loki is actually the founding base for Phase 4, as you just said, right? Like,
Yeah.
it is where your big bad is revealed. It is where your multiverse is revealed, which is so put away from the movie spectrum, that it's on a show that it was revealed that yes, there's going to be a multiverse. You should be expecting it, and it was not in a movie, right? So for me, it was all of these factors combining together to make Loki the favorite show of MCU shows, at least right now on Disney Plus Hotstar. I don't want to get into Daredevil and all of that because I haven't really seen it, so I don't know. But for this batch, I think yes. For me, Loki was definitely uh, the the best show out of the three till now. All right. So I think two of us picked up Loki, one Falcon and the
Yeah.
Winter Soldier. Surprisingly, nobody picked up WandaVision. What happened there?
So I don't think we hate on WandaVision. Yeah. So Elizabeth Olsen, right? So who can hate her? She's just, yeah. My wife is going to kill me, but anyhow, truth has to be spoken. So. but I think we were even. I mean, they kind of upped the game even with Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and Loki was definitely brilliant. So I think because of that, and since Loki is kind of fresher in our minds, so and so is Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So probably that's why we picked it. But no hatred on WandaVision.
I
Dude,
personally,
I'm going to go out there and put it across, right? Hatred, okay. I wouldn't say hatred, but I dislike characters that are overtly powerful and then they underdeliver. Specifically, Vision. That guy is like the Superman of Marvel, right? That guy can freaking do anything that guy wants. Super underwhelming in the movies. That guy got
Yeah.
carried in Infinity Wars by everybody else. That guy got
Mm.
carried in Infinity Wars by Black Panther's sister. That's like,
but
dude,
but but in WandaVision, he's not that guy, right?
He's
It's
never there.
of a
Yeah,
imagination coming to life.
yeah. It was a mental projection
he
of her. So
is
so to be
fair.
fair, he wasn't there.
Fair.
Yeah, yeah. And then
No,
we have the White Vision,
but
but you
I
But
can't
how
really.
shitty is it
I
that
I
you are
think
literally
I
made
think
out of like,
sorry, go
yeah,
ahead.
so I just want to complete this, right? Like you're literally made out of the most amazing material in the universe, and you're super strong, ultra powerful, and everything, and you're beaten by a fucking witch. Like, seriously, like that character is far more powerful and entertaining than you. But anyway, that's my 2 cents on
No,
Yeah.
I think
why.
one of the biggest things which was I think why WandaVision is liked, but it's not the best show for any of us. One of the reasons might be that it was in the sitcom category, so to say.
Yeah.
We all
Correct.
like sitcoms at the end of the day, but a Marvel movie or a show doesn't really go the comedic way, no matter what you do, right? So one of the reasons why I think it might not be our favorite shows right now is because that it was more comedic than the story compelling part, which we saw in both Falcon and the Winter Soldier and Loki. The story was
Correct.
pretty much condensed into that one place where she had her family and all of that, which led to a lot of uh, other things, offshoots happening. But it's what it is, right? It's a
So,
show which
and one of the major reasons, another reason was the big bad, right? So the big bad has to be insanely like they have to match up to the protagonist.
I
So I
I think
felt
the
it
next
that was in there.
yeah the next big bag has to be so big that Thanos looks like a wimp in front of him. Is
And that's
right?
practically what Loki does, right?
Yeah, practically what Loki does at the end of the day.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
good.
So
So we are pretty much convinced that the better shows out of the three are Loki and Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Uh,
yeah.
okay,
It
let's talk.
might be also discuss. Okay, since we've hated so much on WandaVision, what did we like about it? Let's since no one picked, I was expecting someone would pick
Dude, that's my
WandaVision.
segue into the next question. Don't do this to me.
No, so what do we like about WandaVision? Yeah,
Okay, let's talk about what we like about WandaVision, and then we will go to the next question. All right. Uh,
yeah.
Fair enough.
Correct.
so Suraj, maybe you can start since you raised the question. What do you like about WandaVision?
So, as I said, my undying love for Elizabeth Olsen. But apart from that, the reveal of Quicksilver, right? I was so excited when I saw the scene where they're showing Quicksilver and they're kind of bringing in another insane universe within Marvel, which is our X-Men universe into it. So that particular moment in the series that was mind blowing. But then they do disappoint later that it wasn't connected at all.
Yeah.
But that was one of the like
That
amazing moments.
that was a bad switcheroo, I would say. Right?
Yeah, that would have been insane if they would have just stuck with it.
Shashank?
I don't know, dude. I really like the Okay, so I am a huge anime. And to ask me which of these three shows, which one was closest to an anime, I would say WandaVision, specifically because of the fight. Like
Mm.
the outmaneuver, the intellectual outmaneuver that is done out there is like so
Ah,
anime-like. And I was like, damn, this that's what blew me away. So I loved WandaVision because of that like last few fights that were there.
okay.
Okay, that's fair enough. For me, I think the one scene which just stole the whole thing away was uh, when Scarlet Witch and Vision have a standoff in their home. They just start raising from the ground, and and it was as if electricity was flowing between them, and the chemistry which was there between the actors and the characters. It really brought the show home, so to say, for me. Apart from that, the whole aspect of loss in the show, like the way
Mm.
the Scarlet Witch is grieving and wants to have a normal family life. It actually was very, very powerful in anybody's quest to have a normal family life, I would say, right?
Right.
So
Right.
it was one of the best things according to since Endgame, which came out, where they showed how a sense of loss can drive somebody to insanity nearly, and how they can come back from it. Apart from that, how they wanted to visualize their general day-to-day life to be, and which was really eye-opening for me, very frankly, seeing that okay, superheroes also want a normal life.
Yeah, that humanizes the superhero aspect, right?
Correct.
Even
Yeah,
though
exactly.
they
It's
are
not a
OP,
superhero
right?
anymore.
Overpowered.
It's a human who has superpowers at the end of the day. At the
Yeah, correct.
look at it that way.
Yeah.
So that was very very nice about WandaVision, which I really liked. And plus I'm a sucker for sitcoms. So it was in a sitcom. It had sitcoms of
Yeah,
every generation. You
Yeah.
had homages paid to I Dream of Ginny from I Dream
Yeah.
of Modern Family, which is like a
Right.
wide, you know.
Modern Family. Yeah, that was one of the most entertaining episodes.
Yeah,
The
so
the
it was
format was short.
in the comedic sense of view, and
Yeah.
it just felt like this is very different from what Marvel does. And yeah, that is why I really like Wanda Vision, so to say. All right. Okay. Now
Yeah.
let's
Good
come
punch. Good punch.
let's come to our next question. We wanted to discuss our favorite moment in all of MCU series on Disney Plus Hotstar. So that means again the three series which we have been discussing. The favorite moment again. Suraj, we will start with you. Go to Shashank, and then we will come to me. Suraj, your
Okay. So so all three shows, right? So we're talking about all three shows, best moment, one single moment.
yeah.
That's an insane task to decide which is the best moment. Having watched it so lovingly, but okay. So let me start off with WandaVision. So as I
one
mentioned,
moment, one moment,
one moment,
one
one
favorite
moment in
moment.
all of the
Yeah,
three series. One moment in all of the three series.
Actually,
yeah.
Is that it?
no, no. Oh, actually,
No,
let's do one moment in all, like one moment in
One moment
autumn
each.
and one moment in winter and
no,
Falcon.
no.
One moment in Loki.
Really? I think. Hmm. So my moment is in WandaVision. If anyone has a moment in Winter Soldier, they should go with that. And if
Okay.
anyone else has a moment in Loki, they should go with that. Like
Okay,
I would
okay,
recommend that.
Okay.
okay. Let's do one.
Okay.
Let's do one thing. Instead of that, just go with your best moment in any of the MCU shows.
Best moment in
Exactly.
all of these three shows. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, that
Yeah.
narrows it down. Okay. So I would then pick Loki. So he who must not be named, or the introduction of the big bad of phase four, Kang. And they did it so subtly, the way they introduced Kang the Conqueror, right? So he never named himself. That was so cool. And the way they brought him in and what he can do. I mean, phase four, it gave a kind of a sneak peek into phase four. So how powerful he is, that just blew my mind. That is by far the most favorite moment of mine. So it was a fanboy moment. Having read the comics, I got to brag about it to my wife. So you know who this guy is. So she's like, yeah, this name. So I said the Conqueror. So I said, no, that's Kang the Conqueror. You come to know about it in the in the movies. So
The way he says, I have been known by a lot of names.
lot of names.
A ruler, a conqueror.
I just lost it then. So I was like, Kang, that's Kang. You know the meme you have, right? Where Leonardo DiCaprio just points to shit like obvious shit. Oh, that's that. So I had the same moment. So yeah, Kang the Conqueror introduction. I'm super excited about
was
this
certain-
world.
that, that, that was certainly a very, very epic moment in the three shows.
Yeah.
I think that just set up Phase 4 so well that,
Right.
I mean, whoever doesn't watch Loki, and I trust me, I 100% endorse watching Loki right now, because otherwise you will not know what is happening in Phase 4. So please watch
Phase
it.
4. Yeah.
Anyways, Shashank, your turn.
Okay, so my favorite moment is actually from WandaVision. Uh, Pretty much, basically, the first couple of episodes of WandaVision were like, what the fuck is happening? And then they reveal that it is a kind of so basic. Okay, so Matrix is one of my favorite movies, right? And it kind of revealed this alternate universe or alternate reality kind of thing that Wanda was creating. And that revelation was for me mind blowing, because 2-3 episodes you're going along with it and you're just like, what the fuck, right? Like weird men are coming out, there's black and white shit going on, and suddenly it turns to color. It's a sitcom, and then there's the big reveal, and it's like built up, right? Like it's pent up frustration of what the fuck is going on, and then the reveal is so good that it actually makes up for all the questions that you had, and you're like, damn, I did not, like, for me it was like I did not think of this. So for me it was like this big movement that, damn, like this mind blown moment. So for me, like, I loved all these shows, but the moment that blew me away the most was that reveal moment when they discover that this is actually a show that's being transmitted, and Wanda
And
is
it's a
actually creating it. Yeah, that was it for me. Like I was like, damn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think all of us were stunned for a moment when we realized that it's a show inside a show, which is like Inception. So it's perception, so to say.
Showception.
Next level of breaking the third wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I think for me, the one scene which enthralled me and which was like, oh damn, this show is good, was when the little Loki says, "I killed Thor."
Yeah,
That moment,
that was epic.
that moment was a hammer dropping moment for me, so to say. I was like, oh damn, this is epic, man. Like, I would have never ever thought about something like this ever, because personally speaking, I never read, I never read Marvel comics when I was growing up. I am more of a Nagraj, Super Commander Dhruv, Doga kind of a guy when I was growing up. So it's a completely different alternate.
Tinkle, bro, tinkle. How
I
can you fucking
Tinkle.
do a tinkle?
which I grew up reading, right? So when he says, "I killed Thor," I was like, this would have been such an epic line, because at the end of the day, if you think about it, Thor is a failed ruler. He could not save his people. He could not save his planet. He could not do any shit which he wanted to do at the end of the day. And whatever he did was because of help from his brother, no matter what he did, right? So, and his brother being Loki, so to say, right? But 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 that line where he says, "I killed Thor," and for 10 years we have seen Loki wanting to kill Thor, and we never got
Yeah.
that. And suddenly there's this throwaway line in the show which says, "Killed Thor when he was a kid." I was like, man, this is so mind blowing. This is amazing. So yeah, that
The glorious purpose, so to speak.
one of the
Yeah.
most epic scenes, or the one of the shows moments which really blew me away, I would say, right? So yeah, so that was epic.
Yeah, have to agree. Like both moments, both in WandaVision as well as Loki. Yeah, true. They were epic amongst a lot of other epic scenes that we had, definitely, or moments we had. Yeah.
All right. So now I think we have all discussed our favorite moments and all of that. Let me pour me another peg of Old Monk before we start the next question. Uh,
Still not sponsored.
it's still not sponsored. Everyone. MCU, if you are listening, you have fanboys. Come on. All right. Okay, so the next question which we wanted to discuss is your favorite bad guy out of the three series.
Okay, I think we should give a little bit of a context here. Like Marvel is all about the bad guys, and like the
Yeah,
Marvel
yeah, yeah,
bad guys are
yeah.
the
Yeah.
best.
Let's talk about that as well, and then and edit this shit out.
We are not going to edit it. This is going as it is.
Okay, we were tricked. You trickster.
Yeah. The next Loki variant, you know.
Imagine Loki being born in Ranchi.
Never know. All right. So
I'm
that
pretty sure Loki being born in Ranchi and then adopted in Himachal Pradesh. That's like Indian Loki.
yeah.
Indian.
So we all three of us actually have watched everything that is out there about Marvel, and one thing we saw since phase one till now is the development of the bad guys, right? Uh, like in phase one, it was usually the bad guy had a hole in the sky in which there was lightning and shit, and just that happened. But
Yeah.
nowadays, we have come to a more nuisance bad guy who has actually a good purpose, so to say.
Did you actually mean nuanced?
Nuance.
Nuanced.
What the
Actually,
fuck
Old
is
Monk
nuisance?
Old Monk is becoming a nuisance now.
Okay, nuance.
Really
Sorry.
think about our sponsors.
Nuance. So nowadays, all the bad guys are pretty nuanced in the way because they seem to have a good purpose at heart, and then they go about it in the wrong way. So having said that, I think we wanted to have a discussion about who's the best bad guy. As simple as that. So again, we will go with Suraj, Shashank, and then me.
Okay, so I want to put back different explanation, right? So we have always seen bad guys to be this black character with like bad intentions, which are either selfish or detrimental to everyone else. I think no matter what, till Marvel started their whatever current thing, it was always a bad guy in like stereotypically a bad guy was someone in like a dark light who would do bad, who would be selfish, whatever it may be. But Marvel made the bad guy gray and the good guy gray as well. And I think that's one of the biggest achievements that Marvel has. Like, we still have people who say that, hey, I agree with Thanos, in spite of Thanos being the biggest and baddest guy out there in the Marvel universe. It's not about that guy being like the Marvel creating an emotional connect with that guy, but people truly philosophically connecting with what Thanos is thinking. It's not that he's gentle or it's not that he's handsome or anything of that sort. He's an ugly motherfucker. But like the way he arrives at his like the way he's thinking about how he wants an ideal world to be, like everybody fantasizes about having an ideal world, and that guy's also fantasizing about having an ideal world, but it's just different. And it's subjective. Like the best part about it is that people will still agree with his vision of a perfect world, which is what makes Marvel villains fascinating. No matter how bad or good they're shown, there is still a level of ambiguity. And I think that for me is what makes Marvel stand out in terms of shows altogether, it's because of their villains and not because of their heroes. Like, okay, Nolan did it first with his Batman, where the villain stood out, but here the villain stood out at a different level, where not only were they exceptional, but also they were relatable, which is pretty amazing. So I think it goes without saying that whenever we are discussing anything around Marvel, we have to bring up the villain or the negative character aspect. Basically, we can't even term them the villain. We have to term them the anti-protagonist. Like I don't think that the term villain applies to Marvel Universe anymore. It's the anti-protagonist, the guy who is against the philosophy of the guy that's the main hero. That's what I feel. And hence, this is one of the most critical questions that we need to answer about Marvel.
Yeah.
I think yeah, that's correct. Who again, coming back to it, who is the best anti-protagonist, so to say, right? Or the best
Thank you.
best bad guy, like I would like to say as a cool person. But anyways, let's go there. Okay, Suraj, according to you, who is the best anti-protagonist in the three shows which we have seen? Are we talking about the three shows, or are we talking about Marvel at large? The three shows, right?
No one can beat Thanos. Dude. There are
Yeah.
three
So
shows.
let's go with the three shows because everybody, each one of us will say Thanos at the end of the day if we go to the larger MCU. So let's let's concentrate on the three shows. Suraj, who's the best one?
So for me, the best one would be from Falcon and the Winter Soldier because it's very relatable. Because there's no big bad of sorts in Falcon, so to speak. I mean, we do have Power Broker, but I'm not talking about her. So for me, the big bad that was introduced in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier is humanity, right, in its entirety. So it shows us how we treat people, right? So the people after the blip, they come back, and how they are now treated as refugees, right? Just and how we turn against each other. So I believe that's the biggest bad out there, right? You can have superheroes having capes and villains being all sinister all day long, but this is something that is prevalent in the world that we live in. So it's not just the MCU show. So I believe Falcon and Winter Soldier, hands down, the biggest bad out there.
Okay. Shashank?
I think for me, hands down, if any anti-protagonist can come close to Thanos, it's he who remains the kind. Like, this guy has lived parallel universes, has met parallel versions of him, and then come together, and then he formed this whatever autocratic uh, company
Organization
or
or
whatever
something.
that organization called TVA, which
Yeah.
essentially restricts free will as it is. Like, I never thought anything could beat Thanos, but they did manage to do it with He Who Remains of Kang. And for me, I was just blown away. Like, I never thought, for me, it was like something beyond my imagination, and they've done it beautifully. Also, as someone who loves sci-fi and physics and Rick and Morty, this shit just plays into my soft spot of having like parallel versions of each other and then coming together, fighting each other, and then creating an organization to stop the other parallel universe version of you coming up again. That's
That's Rick
crazy.
and
Like,
Morty. That's classic Rick and Morty and the
exactly,
Citadel of Bricks, right?
exactly,
That is exactly Citadel of Bricks.
exactly, exactly. So for me, like, I completely agree with your choice, Suraj. Like, for me, also one of the reasons why Falcon and Winter Soldier is one of my favorites is because of how the villain is kind of described as a society. But
Right.
this one just stepped it up for me, and I was like, yeah, there's no way.
True. True.
Yeah, that's my pick.
Okay, I think Again, the factor of recency is coming in here, but but yeah, I think if you look at the big bads across the three series, from Agatha to the people wanting their lives back in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, to who he remains in Loki, I think the most I could relate to was I don't. Okay, so I'm pretty drunk and buzzed right now, but I don't remember the name of the organization in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So if you guys know, if you remember it, you can say it right now so that I can use it.
So which organization are you talking about?
I mean, the main person who had the serum. What's the name?
The first person who had the serum.
Yeah, yeah. I
No,
mean,
no, no. The girl.
the girl who. What's the name? And the organization
So
she
that was okay. Okay, the organization where that girl. Okay, that was the Flag Smashers, right? So
Flag
that those
Smashers.
freedom, those rebels that we're talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you, Suraj, for that.
Flag Smashers. Flag
Flag
Smashers is
Smashers.
the name of the
Flag
Yeah,
organization.
Flag
Smashers,
Smashers. Yeah,
right?
correct,
Right.
correct. So for me, I think the most relatable, the most relatable anti hero, so to say, in the three series, were the Flag Smashers, because they were just fighting for their right on where they were at that point of time, right? Uh, with WandaVision, when Agatha came in, she had a ulterior motive to know how chaos magic works, and she wanted to get hold of it and rule it, to rule the world, so to say, right? But that didn't happen. On the In Loki, we had He Who Remains, right? So he already had the timeline in his grasp. And after a point of time, which might be any point of time, where he says, I don't know what happens beyond this point, right? So he also was all powerful. But when it comes down to human emotion, and why certain people need certain rights, right? It came down to being empathetic about the cause of the Flag Smashers, because all of them just wanted to be recognized at the place where they were at that point of time. They did not want to go back to the country they were born in, or you know whatever. They came when the blip happened. People needed people to come and build up the world back up again. They were there to help build up the world back up again. But then the whole world comes back, right? So where do you go? It's not their fault. They were doing it for the
Yeah.
good of humanity at the end of the day. Again, the methods were not correct. Uh, I do not agree with how they were going about it. But then I do have the empathy with them, where they felt a sense of loss in the way that we did so much for the world for 5 years, and now we have been treated like scum and been thrown back where we were at. So for me, they were the best anti-hero guys out there who actually had a good cause with them, right?
Yep.
They could actually, even to, if it was real world, so to say, they still had a good cause where they could actually talk about. So for me,
Mhm.
they were the best out of the three. But yeah, I completely agree with Shashank also, that having somebody who can control your timeline, and who can who can who can make you believe that it's your free will, and still you are going according to the coordinated path. It's a something different altogether.
Yeah. Remember Endgame? We were thinking Infinity Stones is the shit, and seeing them used as paperweights,
Okay,
that was a reality check.
dude, that villain literally. Okay, so that anti-protagonist literally meant that if you agree with me, you are still letting me win. If you don't
Yeah.
agree with me, you are still letting me win, because it is
It's
just a different version of
him.
me that's
Right.
going to
Right.
screw you over. Like, like it is a lose-lose scenario. Like that just blew me away. But I think when it comes to your points around Falcon Winter Soldier, like that's the reason it's my top pick of the three, because you can't identify the villain or the bad guy in that show. Like, who is it? Like, is it the fake Captain America? Is it the Flag Smashers? Is it the society? Is it the governments?
For
Who is
me,
it? Like at one point, you're thinking, was it even right to get all these people back?
Correct,
Did
correct.
you
True.
even do the
for
work
me, one of the
to
most
get all these
powerful
people back?
for me, one of the most powerful scenes across all the three series was when the new Captain America kills one of the Flag Smashers with the shield. That was a
Oh yeah,
representation of
I
the
was really
like,
tempted.
no of that's a representation of how you basically bludgeon any dissent in your country, so to say.
Right,
And I
correct,
was like,
correct.
oh my dear God, this has so many parallels across
Right,
whole scenario in which we are living right now. But
right,
then like, damn, this is such a powerful scene because you don't see Captain America killing anyone with anything till now.
yeah, yeah,
He's always been the one
yeah.
who has had a plan and who wants to save everyone, but do not hurt anyone, no matter what, no matter how hard I hit them. But anyways, that was like one of the
So,
most
Suresh, you're trading a very fine line. You might get into nationalism and things that will generally
trust me,
trigger certain set of people.
I
Don't
really
know
don't do all of that. But then it was just the symbolism so strong
Yeah,
that it just
yeah,
stuck a chord with me, right? So it can be anything, right? For anyone, like any
right,
scene,
right.
this comes out from anywhere. But yeah,
Agree.
this was something which was really, really powerful for me. And I just felt that it was an epic depiction of how the world is right now.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. So in conclusion, we heart Marvel. So no matter what shit you brew up, we are there to lap it up. But in all sincerity, Marvel is amazing. So they've been doing amazing work, and especially in the pandemic, bringing these gems in the form of a TV show was never imaginable. We were all waiting for movies to come up and dates being pushed for the release of movies, but frankly, I'm very surprised in a pleasant way the way these shows turned up, and the entertainment value and the production value in some of these was off the roof.
Yeah, completely agree.
Yeah,
So, Sashank,
totally
any
agree.
last thoughts before we sign off?
Man, I am just waiting for Guardians of the Galaxy 3, to be honest. But Marvel keeps giving these gems. But I don't know, like for me, one of the most like for me, what converted me into like a huge Marvel fan was Guardians of the Galaxy 1, because
Mhm.
that was a movie in from. I actually suspected it to be like just one of those sidey meh movies. And when I
Right.
watched it, I was like blown away. And I like, yeah, whatever Marvel does, they do it well. Like hands down, you have to watch it. So for me, I am a diehard, huge Guardians of the Galaxy fan. Fuck Star Lord, but still the others. So yeah, waiting for Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Yeah, we have a new kind of a protagonist to hate now, Sylvie. So basically, she freaking broke the timeline, and
Do
she's
you
got
like? Do you hate
new
Sylvie?
character.
Like I
No,
don't like that's the
no,
beautiful thing. I don't like Sylvie. I don't think she did anything wrong.
no.
No, no, no. So for me,
I don't think Sylvie is going to be one of the big bads going forward. She did it
right.
out of pure emotion, and which I completely
Yeah,
understand.
yeah, yeah. So
And
definitely not a big bad, but a character that you start kind of hate right now,
definitely,
because I find her similar to what Starlord did, right?
yeah.
He
For me, she is definitely one of the interesting characters because I don't know where her arc will go from now on in, right? It
Yeah.
can be
In
any.
fact, Loki was predictable, right? Our Loki was predictable, and
Tom
actually
Hiddleston.
turned out to be the trickster Loki, right? So that was good. So
No, but I think yeah, what Shashank said, right? Guardians of the Galaxy 3 might be like one of the most epic MCU movies. Completely agreed. Suraj,
Dude,
from your end,
Warlock is going to come.
yeah, that's what, right?
Hopefully.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
yeah, yeah.
Warlock's finally going to
Yeah,
come in.
the teaser they gave us, and we've been waiting, right? When will Adam Warlock be finally be revealed? But hopefully, let's see if we see them. I'm excited about Multiverse of Madness, right? Doctor Strange. I mean, it. We are gonna trip balls just watching the movie. Is what I'm assuming. The first Doctor Strange movie was a visual treat. I mean, it was like acid, coke, I don't know, all mixed up in the form of a single movie. So
Not that
I'm
we
just,
have done any of those, but yeah.
yeah,
Guys,
we are not, and
just,
we are
just
not
a
supporting
disclaimer.
any of those.
Just a disclaimer. We have not done anything like that. So
We
Yes.
only do this.
the only thing we have is
True, true. Okay, so then, yeah, then we can probably wind up, right? I think we
yeah.
have a
So
good
before we
picking.
wind up, for me, I think one of the most interesting movies for me is the next Ant-Man movie coming in, because it
Mhm.
actually shows the big bad.
It's called Quantumania, right?
Sorry, quantum.
Yeah.
Quantumania, yeah.
Quantum. It actually shows the big bad in all its glory, which is Kang the Conqueror from another alternate timeline. So
Yep.
hopefully it lives up to the standard, and have we come to know who is the big bad, and then we get an Avengers type team up after like 10 years again.
Yeah.
Put it to him. So, but yeah,
No, I'm actually feeling this time around. I mean, the protagonists. I don't know. Do we have a strong set of protagonists as we had in the first four phases? We don't have Iron Man. We don't have Captain America. So
no,
it's
but
pretty exciting to see
I think
what
I think this
direction
is
will be
something
there.
which we can discuss the next time. But
Yeah.
the core of Avengers going forward, right? But
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty exciting.
but yeah, uh, we will not stick to only MCU, guys. Trust me, we have a lot
Yeah.
more to talk about, and we have a lot of examples.
Jujutsu Kaisen, whoever is interested.
Yeah,
That's an
so
anime on
we
Netflix.
have people from, and we will have some guests around on this podcast who would help us in dwelling into more things which we don't know properly about. But we have decided that it won't be a political thing, so it's
Yeah.
always going to be a pop culture thing. So you're with us. Uh, yeah. So I think for tonight we have enough. Uh, After editing and all that, I hope that we still have something left.
I thought we are not editing, right?
No, but something we have to edit, right? Like it cannot be like everything. But
True.
yeah, hopefully we have enough left over to put on YouTube. We are currently not on any other podcast. We are thinking of to get there. It will take us some time, because all three of us are working, and we don't have enough time to put into this. But yeah, also we don't know when the next episode will come through. So if you like us, do like, share, and subscribe, as everyone tells you.
Uh, we are plugging ourselves in our own podcast. I mean,
Obviously, who else will do it?
that's
Never
depressing.
did, I think.
Only to us, right? Who else
Would
will
tread
do it?
that line.
I mean, I can force Rashi to put it on her Instagram. Rashi is my wife, but I can force herself to put it on her Instagram, which has like around 500 followers.
She'd be the only girl who watches this podcast.
Would be our wives. That's it.
Oh, I never
And
thought about it.
don't forget to press the bell icon.
Two
I think-
women.
I think we should get someone who can talk from the female demographic also. But let's see, can find someone
Yeah.
that is. But yeah,
That can be my Tinder bio, dude.
sorry.
Looking for a female podcast partner to geek out on Marvel. I might end
you are
up
a girl,
getting some matches.
If you are a girl
Anything
and a
else?
nerd,
If you're
do
a
reach out
girl,
to us. We will feature you in a podcast, no matter what.
I'm 100% sure all
Gender
of this shit
diversity
is
for
gonna
the
get
win.
edited. All of this shit is gonna get edited.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Apart from the like, share, and subscribe.
Yeah. Suraj, do you
Yes.
want to repeat that, please?
No. So
We should all
like,
say it
share,
together. Like, share, and
Yeah.
subscribe. We should all say it together in
Oh,
like
yeah.
a very depressed and whatever tone we want to say.
Yeah,
it.
we are begging for your likes here. So
Okay.
do
One,
let's be
two.
let's be a little try hard. Okay, let's do this. Like, share, and subscribe, guys.
Do you do you even want to get people to listen to it? If you hadn't driven off people already, that pretty sure did it. Like, sharing,
I think we are not that bad, first of all. So anyways, guys, it was again great talking to both of you after so long. It's been it's been like around 6 years since we always spoke about starting a podcast of our own, and finally we did, sort of, so to say. So so people who are watching this, please like, share, and subscribe. Even if you don't, share it with someone, so whoever interested in this sort of communication can subscribe to this. We will come out with
Content. Yeah, it's all about the content, not
It's all about the
communication.
whoever is interested in such content.
yeah you won't find this kind
We
of
are amazing. We are the
else on the
amazing
web.
content creators.
Yeah. You won't find any sort of this content anywhere else on the web. So anyways, it was really nice catching up with both of you, and hopefully whoever listens to this enjoys this at the end of the day. That's all we want at right now, and we will try to keep up with with putting out such podcasts every week or every 2 weeks or every month. We don't really know. It might be every quarter, every half year, every yearly. So do not worry about it. We will
Every quarter.
Every quarter.
I finished it finally. Yeah.
Well done. I'm on my second
Welcome,
quarter.
Maguire.
So thank you guys, and see you soon.